Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Push with Nick and KP. We are here to do a recap of Monday Night Raw, which took place on June 9th in Phoenix, Arizona. A ton of stuff to talk about, so let's go ahead and get right into it. We start the show off with John Cena making his way to the ring. He basically says that he wasted, or the WWE Universe wasted their time by chanting for our truth, and that nothing we did actually brought him back. Then he kind of goes on to kind of go against that. He says, but if you did think that you did bring him back, that you should next time chant for someone who actually provides some competition. Enter CM Punk. Punk says he's out here not to support TKO, but he's out here to support the people. He wants John's title and says if he's not a coward, he'll accept that challenge tonight. Of course, Cena accepts the challenge, but says that Punk has to follow him to Saudi Arabia at Night of Champions to get an opportunity at that title. Pretty good back and forth here. Two men who know how to cut a promo, and I think a matchup we all assumed and hoped we were going to get once more before the end of this farewell tour. And this was pretty intense. And in terms of promo 101 class at NXT, this is probably one that they'll end up showing them. After this segment, Seth Rollins and his faction show up at the top of the ramp, and was kind of curious what we would get from there. But that was it. They kind of cut that was the commercial break after that, and then we come back. He's gone, and that's done. So just I guess making his presence felt for the time being. Because as we get back from commercial break, we see the matchup of Seth Rollins and Chad Gable. AJ wants to get his rematch. He lost last week, in the Money in the Bank qualifier to El Grande Americano. So this is his redemption match, if you will. The match basically circles around the fact that AJ has to fend off the Creed brothers as well as Gable. This one ends up in a very unique styles clash. I don't know if that was intentional or something happened it wasn't, but it looked off for sure. Maybe these two guys being in the ring, being as high caliber as they are, maybe it was intentional and they did something unique there, and I didn't catch enough of it to appreciate it. But regardless, it did look a little strange. But regardless, AJ gets the win. I'm not sure what this means in the grand scheme of things as far as, the story arc here, or if this is kind of a or two and done thing, I suppose, and we move on, or El Grande Americano gets back involved here. I'm not really sure, but we'll keep an eye on it in the coming weeks to find out. We then get a first round Queen of the Ring tournament matchup, which features Roxanne Perez, Liv Morgan, Kairi Sane, and Rhea Ripley. This is a pretty hard-hitting affair. It's kind of similar. It kind of had the similar vibes of the Money in the Bank matchups. Top talent in the ring, so why should we expect anything less? Very interesting in this match, and this ended up being the focal point of it. Was before the match, Roxanne told Liv, "Hey, let's see if we can work together, and between the two of us, we'll bring something back to the Judgment Day." Liv, again, not having any of it, she says, "I will, and I will bring the title back to the Judgment Day." So during the match, they actually do end up working as a team quite a bit. Both Liv and Roxanne end up helping each other out, which was surprising considering, before the match, Liv had seemingly no interest in doing so. Mrs. Awesome chants a couple times from the crowd, so clearly liking what they're seeing. Get towards the end of the match, Rhea takes out the entire field, hits a riptide on Liv Morgan, and I think most everyone, including myself, thought that was it. As she's going for the pin, she ends up getting pulled off by none other than Raquel Rodriguez. So interference number 1 for the night. Kairi Sane ends up taking out Raquel and Rhea, then hits an insane elbow on Liv. Roxanne sees this from outside the ring, comes in and hits a surprise roll up on Kyrie as she's trying to pin Liv. And Roxanne gets the win here. So a surprising outcome, especially the way it happened, considering they had been working together with Liv. Although before the match, she did say, as long as one of us wins. So Roxanne getting advancing to the semifinals of the Queen of the Ring on the Raw side. And of course, this will set up plenty of issues down the line. Liv can't be happy with how that went down, and Roxanne getting the better of, being the better member of Judgment Day, or unofficially on this occasion. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see where they go from here. But again, Roxanne just continues her streak of absolutely killing it in 2025 on her way to become Queen of the Ring. We then get into a Becky promo who comes down and basically says that she's made the IC title the hottest title in the business. She also said that Lyra was very disrespectful in the way that she acted after the ring. When she raised her arm, she almost dislocated it, whatever that means. And then she says she wants an apology from Lyra. Lyra makes her way down to the ring, obviously looking very upset and clearly having no intention of doing anything that she's been asked. As Lyra making her way down to the ring, Becky is then taken out from behind by none other than the returning Bayley. So, yeah, it would have been nice for Bayley to come back and Money in the Bank. I feel like that would have been a bigger moment for her. But alas, beggars cannot be choosers. Bayley returning here finally after getting taken out by Becky is huge, and so happy to see her back. Lyra didn't look like she, knew this was coming. Becky kind of retreats by running towards the entrance ramp. Of course, Lyra is still there, so Lyra then throws her back into the ring for Bayley to eat a rose plant. So yeah, this is clearly the angle we're heading towards. I'm not sure when, but if it has these three women involved, sign me up. Another really interesting promo. You could argue probably one of the most interesting of the year. R-Truth comes back. We see him at ringside. He climbs up on the announce table, and he basically tells the WWE Universe that you all brought me back. And he cuts a promo about saying that the truth will set you free. He then proceeds to cut his hair off and says that we should put some respect on his name, which is Ron Killings. So you get some holy shit chants from the crowd, and I couldn't have said it better myself. My jaw was on the floor. This felt very real, and believe what you want to believe. If the WWE Universe chanting brought back Ron Killings or R-Truth, as all signs point to the fact that is the case. What a moment. And I'm very much looking forward to this. The crowd was just in shock. Ron Killings, he's still gonna incorporate the truth being in his name. The truth, Ron Killings, perhaps will be the moniker he gets. Crowd's not gonna stop chanting truth, regardless of what they tell us his name is, I imagine. So this was incredible. I as the crowd were. I was very shocked, and it'll be interesting to see where they take this character from here. Clearly dropping maybe a bit of the comedic side, so it'll be interesting to see how they take that. We then move on to a King of the Ring match. This one features Penta, Dominic Mysterio, Sami Zayn, and Braun Breaker. Again, another incredible match, similar to the women's side, where each competitor gets their time to shine. But I think the majority of the match circles around Braun Breaker and his dominance here. The match sees Braun Breaker go just absolutely wild over anyone and everyone. Not to say that everyone else didn't get in their bits, they did, but Braun Breaker is just on another level right now. I think that's fair to say. And we're sitting here asking ourselves, how does Braun not win this match? Well, WWE does it better than anyone. We get some interference, but it does make sense. It's very warranted here. LA Knight ends up coming out at ringside out of nowhere to give Braun Breaker a BFT. Back in the ring, Sammy then delivers a haluva kick to Dominic to get the win and advance to the semifinals of the King of the Ring tournament. So another interference here, but obviously very well deserved. You could argue that LA Knight was cost an opportunity at Money in the Bank by Seth's faction, in particular Braun Breaker. So yeah, very very warranted here, and I don't think anyone's mad at Sami Zayn qualifying. King Sami, it does have a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Before we get into the next segment, we see King and Queen of the Ring announcements from Michael Cole. And in that announcement, we feature two things. The Raw side shows a mystery or a grayed out opponent, so we don't quite yet know who that will be. And on the women's side, we see a returning Asuka. And we get a short video promo of Asuka and all the things she's accomplished in WWE. So not only do we get a returning Bayley, we also get a returning Asuka. So what a night it is here on Raw. We then get a promo from Nikki Bella, so yeah, another return, who comes in to promote Evolution in July. She mentions that the best in the division, the way it looks currently with Io, Rhea, and Bianca. She also mentions the newcomer in Vaquer, Julia, and Roxanne. And continues to go on, but is then interrupted by Liv Morgan. She comes in. She's upset that she wasn't mentioned. And Nikki says this obviously wasn't intentional and there was, no malice behind it. Liv isn't buying any of that and then ends up hitting Nikki with an Oblivion. So, are we setting up a rivalry there? Perhaps. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Nikki is still kind of in ring shape or has any intention of competing. But or maybe she has someone else that she can designate for herself. Obviously, Nikki was in ring action, I think, in the Royal Rumble this year, so it wouldn't be crazy to think that she could be competing against Liv. But we'll have to wait and see where this one goes. We then get into the main event, which is Gunther versus Jey Uso for that World Heavyweight Championship. This match revolved around Jey clearly not being 100%, and Gunther kind of hit it right on the head last week, and we all kind of agreed. And I think that was with Jey being a selfless champion in a selfish business, it inevitably will be his downfall. So very much the story that's being told here. Gunther obviously is fresh as a daisy, so he dominates most of this match, honestly. Jey obviously showed signs of resiliency and attempted to make comebacks, several in fact, and just when it felt like Gunther was going to take it, Jey would show an ounce of resiliency, but it just wasn't enough. Gunther controlled most of this match. So with his son in attendance, Jey does end up losing his title back to Gunther here. And yeah, it's exactly what Gunther said. That's what inevitably was Jey's downfall. So Gunther being our World Heavyweight Champion once again, I think I'm sure this will get some mixed reactions. A lot of people love Jey, a lot of people hated Jey. So whichever side you fall on, you'll probably love this main event or you hate it. So I for one love it. I think Gunther had a ton of momentum, and we'll see if he can pick it back up here. A surprise to me was not seeing Seth Rollins here. I felt like he probably would have at least made himself seen or acknowledged either during or at least after the match, but no such luck. He was only seen for in the ring or around the ring there at the opening promo with Punk and Cena. So Gunther is our new world heavyweight champion, and caps off what I thought was an incredible Raw. One of the best we've seen of the year, I'd argue. Tons of story development, matchups in King and Queen of the Rings with Sami and Roxanne, returning Bayley, a R-Truth promo turning into Ron Killings, and of course a returning Asuka as well, and a new world heavyweight champion in Gunther. So this match had a bit of everything, and yeah, amazing. I'll give this one a 10 out of 10. I don't give those out often for weekly shows, but I don't know how much more you could ask for in terms of seeing a quality episode of Raw. And this was just that. So yeah, looking forward to next week and seeing how we can advance our stories here. But lots of more action this week. We have NXT tonight, and then we have SmackDown, which will feature a couple of King and Queen of the Ring matchups as well. Just about 2.5 weeks out from our next PLE, so no time wasted, and we'll be back shortly for recaps on that. So with that, this has been The Push with Nick and KP. And if you feel free to like and share and comment below if you have any suggestions and or like what we're putting out here, or dislike, we're always open to constructive criticism. But until next time, this has been The Push with Nick and KP. We'll see you then.